Here we're going to take a look at the second play in our New Orleans Saints scheme out of the gun empty tray formation, this time using the play double unders. Now, Saints switch is only in the New Orleans playbook, but this particular play can be found in Cleveland, Indianapolis, and in those playbooks, it'll be called Browns unders or Colts unders. Now, I don't remember if I talked about it on YouTube, but I certainly know that I did on Twitter, and I talked about how double in routes trailing each other are very, very hard to defend, and this is a prime example of that, using two speed ins, which is absolutely ridiculous. You know that throughout the videos, it seems like I'm always talking about low passing in routes, especially if we can take advantage of a speed in and low passing that. Again, like Pat's Y post. I always refer to that play when I'm talking about speed ins. Well, this is very similar to Pat's Y post because on Pat's Y post, we've also got the angle route by the tight end. So here we're going to run the formation flipped. Saint switch, I guess if you're going to run that play just by itself, doesn't really matter, but I love to run the entire scheme flipped, and the reason for that is because we want to be able to roll to our right. And obviously every quarterback, almost every quarterback in the entire game is a right-handed quarterback. So it's just better to run everything flipped. Now, we're going to start off the video by looking at low passing to square. We're going to just look route by route. Now, this isn't everything with the play. I know that I've shown this many, many times throughout some videos, low passing. You guys get the point by now. But everything on this play is ridiculously hard to defend, especially when you're mixing in other plays like Saint switch, etc. As you can see, it creates a little bit of a triangle, and the double ins is going to be really, really hard to defend. He's covering triangle here, and we low pass, even though the guy's covered, the low pass makes it unguardable. So he's really got to guard square, but then if he user guards square, then he's got to worry about triangle. As you can see, triangle is the guy that's open, not square. But it's the low pass that makes square open every single time. So that's why it's really, really tough to defend. So let's just take a look here at a couple more examples, and we're going to be taking a look at how he's going to be using. Now here we've got R1 that could be open. We'll get into that a little bit later. Triangle is obviously the route that he's using. So anytime we see that, we're just going to do that low pass. And just let the CPU run after the catch, because the CPU running after the catch is going to get really, really glitchy speed bursts, etc. Just like you see right there. Even though we didn't gain yards on it, they get a nice speed burst. And that, as you see right there, I mean, it's just fantastic. So don't touch anything. Just let the CPU run after the catch. Now, when they play a defense like this, and they've got a guy in the middle, obviously, if we didn't throw to square immediately, we're not going to be able to complete this because he's covering triangle. Square is going to run in through a defender. R1's probably going to get open at some point. But what makes this so tough is X in behind. So square is our first read. Well, really, triangle's the first read. Triangle's the first read. Square's the second read. Even though I do cheat a little bit, I look at square first. I kind of look in the area. I have way more examples of throwing to square than I do triangle. I've only got 2 examples of throwing to triangle, but doesn't mean that that route is not fantastic. It just so happens that they always seem to guard triangle, and that's what's going to leave square open. Here, against a cover 3 especially, this is my go-to play anytime I know that it's cover 3 because they're going to be lost. There's no way that they're going to be able to defend it. And we just hit X in behind. Pass lead or not, it kind of depends. But for the most part, I will pass lead. As you can see here, away from the defender. Again, same guy. He's ready for triangle. Squares over the middle. He's got the guy there ready to make the play. But it's a single high safety. We just pass lead to the inside. Now here, this guy is sitting here waiting, again, on triangle, right? So if we just waited a little bit, we either throw to square or we throw to X in behind. X is wide open. Let's just take the big yards. We're going to throw a pass lead to the inside, click on, and cut it off. It's just really, really hard to defend. As you can see here, he's usering in the area, but there's absolutely no way if we make the right choice, he's going to be able to guard it all. There's just impossible. You got to stay patient when he does something like this. Stay patient. Now he makes his move, and now we throw to X in behind. I absolutely love this play. I cannot tell you how much I love the play because of the trailing in routes. And the fact that they're both speed ins makes it that much more ridiculous. I love trailing in routes, just two actual in routes. But the fact that they're both speed ins is just ridiculous. You can beat cover 2. You can beat cover 3. It's certainly my cover 3 defense. See what I mean? I mean, it's just so hard for them to do anything. And again, there's a lot of other plays in this formation. Again, they're always covering triangle. That's just what happens on this play. Unless they know the play, like let's say they've seen this video and you go and run it against someone, they're just guarding triangle. And it just leaves square and X as read 1 and 2, like almost like money over and over, you know? So that's just how we're going to run that. Now, again, with the slot guy, R1 and then circle, that's going to add in even more stuff that we can do. And as you see here, we pass lead inside or outside and then down. So we click on and we pull down and we cut it off so that we are in front of the defender. The defender is not in front of us. Because as you can see here, he's using that safety, right? So we just make sure that we throw it away from him with a regular pass or a pass lead or even like that with a quick pass. Now R1, here's a man scenario where the safety is on R1. So the speed burst by triangle and square are really, really nice. You know, if we could hit those across the middle, they can get some really nice yards after the catch. But, you know, you're going to want to mix it up. So we throw to R1 here, and that's going to beat... Oh, actually, we did throw to triangle. But R1 was wide open as well. And R1 is really, really fantastic. These are the two examples against triangle. As you see, it was a user defender on the D-line, so we can take triangle whenever we want. But see how they're always worried about triangle? Always. So we could have hit X in behind. Just no matter who I play, they just always guard triangle. So then we've got R1 as well on an out route, or we've got X over the middle. R1 is a nice, you know, anytime they play like, they're going to try everything, honestly. When you get to this point, if they're not running like a nickel blitz 2 or something like that, they're going to go to all different formations. I've seen people run so many variations of things, and anytime they go to double A gap, I mean, R1's going to be open pretty much regardless of anything. Just, it's not a good formation defensively to be in against this. Especially because most people, this guy ended up getting nano detected, but especially since most people want to blitz out of the nickel 2-4-5, whether it's, you know, even a cover 2 or whatever, it's just a really bad formation to be in. And again, R1, wide open, nice little out route. We're going to hit that all day. Now, if they're playing press against R1 in the slot, like we talked about in the play Saint Switch, let's just say that they want to bump our guys. Now, obviously, they don't here. The safety is on him, which, you know, in cover ones, etc. That's going to be great for us. But let's just say, like right here, triangle gets bumped. Well, if you see this a lot, what you want to do is you want to streak triangle and then put square on a smart routed out route. That's going to allow us to hit square wide open as long as they're not in cover 2 every single time. Just like we showed in Saint Switch, talked about how out routes are really very underrated. Obviously, they don't beat cover 2, but anytime someone's not in cover 2, we are going to destroy them with out routes, especially when they're pressing, like in cover 4s and cover 3s that do automatic pressing. As you see here, we're going to streak R1, put circle on an out route. And those really are the only adjustments that you want to make to the play. Otherwise, you're going to run it as is. Absolutely love this play. It goes great with the Saint Switch, and we're not done. I have more to show in the next video. So I hope you guys are liking it so far. You can run all of this out of the New Orleans Saints playbook. The next play is also an audible in the Saints book. Saints switch was the first play we looked at. Then double unders here is the play that you're going to come out in, and the next play is also an audible. So hopefully we can get that to you guys tomorrow. I'll see you soon.